Hey Warhammer Nut, Squirrel here. Thought I'd try my hand at a video battle report. Done forum battle reports before, but thought I'd give this format a try. So, we have my Dark Elf Dragon list against a new High Elf list. Now, this is the good counterexample of what prompted me to start the Tigers, because we have High Elf Lions, why can't we have Dark Elf Tigers? So, this is basically a pitched battle with a big swamp in the middle. Now there's a monster in there. Any unit that stops its move on the swamp has to take an initiative test or take D3 plus 1 wounds without any armor saves allowed. Now we're both initiative 5 pretty much across the board, so it's not really going to come into play. But at the end of the game, whoever has the most wounds in the swamp gets an extra 500 victory points. Riders with crossbows, some harpies right behind them. Then 10-pack of crossbows with musician and champion. Now I put my two characters in there. There's a level 1 metal sorceress. She has the whip of agony and a spell scroll. And my BSB. He has the crown of command, a luckstone, and the dragon helm. Next to that we have 5 cold one knights. Now they have the banner of eternal flame, and the champion has Roaring Hotek. Anyone within 12 inches even attempting to cast a spell miscasts on any double. Next to them we have a long string of 23 crossbow women, and the level 2 death sorceress is in there. Now she has the seal of ground, which gives me an extra dispel dice every magic phase, as well as a scepter of stability, which just gives me an extra d6 once per game on any dispel attempt. Behind that we have the dragon, and the lord, she has blood armor, which she starts off at 3+ armor save, but gets 1 better for every wound she inflicts. Also the pendant keeps her safe from cannonballs. An Archer's icon, which gives the dragon at least a 6 up against war machines. And then the soul render, basically a great weapon with armor piercing, so I can really tear through knights and all the monsters' cavalry running around. Next to the rock I have the Hydra. On the other side of the rock I have another pack of Dark Riders, crossbows, harpies behind them, and then finally my Hydra. For spells I got Searing Doom for the metal, and also the 2 sniper spells for death. It has 10 silver helms, a banner and musician in there. 5 reavers next to that, the fast cap. Behind them there's 10 archers, banner, musician. I don't think there's a champion. And then we have about 20 white lions, fielded 7 wide. There's full command in there. And there's also Baron of the World Dragon, so 2+ against any magical attacks. I think it's a 4+ ward, and also the Book of Hoth. The BSB is also in there, and he has the Sword of Anti-Heroes and also Shield of the Merwin, which gives him a 4+ parry. Continuing on, in the back, you have about 20 Phoenix Guard and a level 2 Mage of High Magic, just with a scroll. And then there's 5 Dragon Princes, modeled on lions, 2 bolt throwers, and 10 more archers. For spells, he got Soul Quench, which is the magic missile, either 2 or 4d6, strength 4, and also Arcane Unforging, just can start getting magical items away from you. And also the Lore Master has all the signature spells. I Vanguard into the woods, turns out it's a Fear Forest, and then I Vanguard on the right behind the wall. And he elects not to Vanguard. I have the +1 to go first, but he gets it anyway. I forgot to take a picture of his movement, but he just advances up, just slightly, and basically he's looking to shoot stuff for his turn. Magic is 9 to 9. You roll a 6 and a 3 by channel 2 out of 2 times, and also my seal gives me an extra dispel dice. Rick starts off with an Ice Shard Blizzard. I let it go. Then I have more dispel dice than his power dice, and I dispel pretty much everything else he attempts. His archers pick off 2 of my crossbow women, and his 2 bolt throwers go at the dragon. 1 misses completely, but 1 wounds and puts 2 wounds on there. I forget about the Ironcar's icon, but it's only 6 up. I don't think it would have made a difference. My turn. My Dark Riders peel around, just looking to harass his fast cavalry. My harpies go off, stay in reserve. My 2 characters hide behind the wall, and the dragon comes up, not really caring if those silver helms come into me. Strength 5, I'm not too worried. Other than that, I just advance just slightly. The harpies move up in preparation to charge the bolt thrower, and the Dark Riders come around the rock to do the same to the other. 5 to 3. I get Power of Darkness with my Metal Mage before I realize that I can't actually see the silver helm, so I target the white lions, I pick off maybe one, and then the death mage doesn't do anything. 10-pack of crossbow women pick off one silver helm, while the dark riders take off 2 reavers. They pass their panic. Crossbow women target the lion princes, take off 4 of them, but that last guy passes his panic. That last group of dark riders try and target the bolt thrower for lack of anything better to do, but don't get anything. In Rickstrom, the silver helms charge the dragon while the reavers move back to harass my fast cap. The lions move up a little, the Phoenix Guard shift forward just a little, the 2 eagles redeploy, just kind of staying in reserve, and you can't see it, but that last lion prince goes into the forest just trying to preserve his points. Magic is 6-6 as I channel once more and still have the seal. Since it's 6-6, he throws all 6 at wild form, gets it irresistibly, small blast template, but he has a 2-up ward against all magical attacks, which miscast results count as, and only 1 lion falls. The bolt thrower on the left takes aim at the dark riders, kills 4 of them, and that last one passes its panic. With a multi-shot, only 1 wounds, but I fail the regen. Then the archers do the same, 1 wounds, 1 gets past the armor, and I fail my 2nd regen. His reavers target my dark riders and pick 1 off. His archers continue picking on my small unit of crossbowmen, take off 3. In combat, the silver helms target the dragon, and his first roll looks like this. All misses. But his initiative is faster than the dragon, so they get to reroll, and gets 5 or 6 hits, of which 3 wound, don't make any of my 6-up armor saves. 5 wounds. I strike back, the dragon misses a bunch, takes out 1, the lord takes out another 2. So her armor save is now up to a 1+. We're even on wounds, he has a charge and a banner. I lose by 2, but lead 10 goes to 8, with the reroll nearby, I stick. In my turn, the last remaining dark rider charges the bolt thrower. The harpies try and charge the other one, they only need a 6. But as you can see, I roll a pair of 1s and a 4, and they're just kind of stuck behind the rock. The hydras move up looking to get into position. At this point, my fear is the dragon is going to take out those silver helms and his white lions are going to come barreling right in. So, usually I use my dark riders, my harpies to play blocker, but they're just too far away, so it's up to the BSB to get in there. Now, against those strength 6 white lions, this is not looking good for them, but I really need that lord to survive. And to help take out the rest of those silver helms before they nick that last wound off the dragon, my knights go into his. 5 remaining crossbowmen with a small unit advance on the hill looking directly at his fast cavalry. The harpies redeploy just in reserve, so they are where I'll need them. The BSB just angling himself. My sorceress flies behind the wood, just barely gets out of there, avoids the dangerous terrain check. The dark riders rush around just to start looking to mess up the backfield. Magic is 4 dice to 3. I use on Power of Darkness, try and use some sniper spells against his level 2 mage, but it's kind of a no-go. My big unit of crossbowmen take aim at the white lions before they get in. I get a decent amount of hits, and then half a dozen wounds, but look at those armor saves. The Dark Riders pour some shots into the archers, and 4 of them fall. The 5 crossbowmen manage to fell 1 fast cav, but they pass their panic check. Now that last Dark Rider bravely goes in on her own. Now she has to brave 2 ASF attacks coming at her before she can attack herself, and they manage to get that wound, and that 5+ armor save just isn't enough. With assistance from the Tiger Knights, the dragon clears off all the silver helms. No one left to pursue, and they just both square off facing the lions. In his turn, I don't have a picture for this, but the Reavers charge my sorceress, the lions and his archers charge my BSB. Other than that, magic is 6 dice to 4. I finally don't channel one. He casts the small magic missile from his level 2, and he wounds twice, and I fail both my regens again. And then the leftmost bolt thrower does a multi-shot and nicks off that last wound. Yep, no regen once more. That Hydra did not make a single regen this game, but that happens. The Harpy's paying the price for not making that charge, accepts a multi-shot from the other bolt thrower. 2 little tiger cubs fall, and the rest decide that this is a good time to run away. Now this leaves no viable targets for the archers, but that's kind of a good problem for the high elves. Now there are 2 reavers coming in. Neither of them failed their dangerous terrain check, and both of them failed to wound against the sorceress T4. The sorceress turned around, and even with hatred, only landed 1 hit. Got a wound, and I thought that Pegasus would get the last one. Nope, it didn't. I've got 1 for wound, he's got 2 for rear, 1 for charge, so I'm down by 2. But the dragon's still nearby, and so is the BSB, and so I stick. In the BSB fight, I bravely declare a challenge, and his unit champion accepts. Now his unit champion has a great weapon, but I have higher initiative, so I go first. With hatred, I knock him down. Beaten by a lot on combat res, but I'm stubborn because of the crown and I stick. Now at this point, I'm left with a decision. Do I run around with all my remaining elements hoping for a good charge, or do I send it all in thinking this might be the best I can get? It's a practice game. I kind of want to see what the dragon will do. The Lord's with his magic weapon isn't going to do much of anything against those lions, but we'll just kind of see what happens. So I charge the dragon in, go after the archers. And the turn before, he had moved up 2 eagles to block, 1 the Hydra, 1 the Knight, so I just plow right into him just to get him out of the way. Magic is 7 dice to 6, and after a little boost from Power of Darkness, I was able to cast Caress, which he tried to dispel but failed, actually. So this was good, but I only rolled a 5, and minus the High Elf Mage's strength of 3, only left me with 2 hits, and only 1 of which wound. So that mage is still alive, sticking on 1 wound. I got Spirit Leech off on him, but I rolled a 2, he rolled a 6. Nothing. Luck did swing my way. However, luck did swing my way later on when all my crossbows focused on the Phoenix Guard. Even with a 3+ ward, I was able to kill 5 of them. Now in the dragon fight, the lions got to go first. Couple hit, and only 2 of them wounded. My 3-up armor save then went to a 6+. I had 1 wound left. I need a pair of 6s, and I got 5 and a 6. So close, yet so far away. So I'm going to miss the Thunder Stomp, the Breath Weapon, all those attacks. I had challenged with my BSB, but he declined, so his BSB went to the back. So he's got no reroll this time. I don't lose any Dark Riders, 2 Harpies, and he's breaking on a 4, I think. And the Harpies chase him down, the Dark Riders just reform. I think the BSB may have gotten a line or 2, but other than that, it's just right there. The Knights and the Hydra both take out their Eagles, and reform as so. In Rick's turn, he considered charging the Hydra with the Phoenix Guard, but then thought better of it and didn't, and also moved his archers up. Magic, he finally got a good phase, and it was 9 dice. It was 9 dice to 5. He started out with a 3 dice casting Maestro Blizzard on my general, which I let go because there was bigger stuff I was kind of worried about. Now he rolled doubles within a foot of my knights, so it was a miscast. He rolled on the miscast table, it was a 4, so the big pie template. Now he had about a dozen of his white lions, but because of the ward save banner where they're all saving on a 2+, none of them perished. Meanwhile, the template also put 1 wound on my BSB, as well as 2 of my Dark Riders. To add insult to injury, his Lore Master didn't even go into the warp. So a miscast, and all it hurt was me. Now I was able to dispel everything else in the phase, but boy, that was demoralizing. One of his bolt throwers put a big one spike through my sorceress, and another skewered 2 knights. Now in the lion fight, my BSB challenges us, and his BSB accepts, so we're going to have a good old flag fight. Now he has the sort of anti-heroes, so he's striking with ASF with 5 strength 6 attacks. 4 hits land and 4 wounds, so my 1-up goes to a 4-up, and I make only 2 of them. I have a luck stone, but it's not enough to save me. So, in addition to the other wound that I took from the miscast, my BSB dies and I don't even get to go. His lines attack my lord, but between the pendant and my armor save, none land. I swing back, hit 4 times, wound 4 times, and this is his ward save roll. A pair of 2s, a 1 and a 4. Now since I'm using a magic weapons, that means that's 3 saves. I lose the combat by 2, and I break by just 1. So I'm unceremoniously run down. At this point I'm feeling pretty low. 1 Hydra's gone, both the BSB and my lord, but the game must go on. The Hydra goes into the Phoenix Guard, and my last 2 remaining knights pop in as well. My Dark Riders try for a very long charge on its bolt thrower and miss it. Otherwise the Harpies just kind of go back in reserve and both units of crossbows move up. Magic is 6 dice to 4, and I go from some sniper spells on the Eagle, but don't manage to get any of them. But he manages to dispel both my attempts. In this fight, I challenge with my unit champion. His accepts. He only manages to land 1 hit, which does wound, but I make my 4-up armor save. Meanwhile, I have hatred, and he goes down. Otherwise, the Phoenix Guard managed to drop the other knight. They put a lot of hits on the Hydra, and even a couple of wounds, but this one makes both regen saves. Meanwhile, the Hydra uses his breath weapon. Between the breath weapon, attack, stomps, and the handlers, I just get a bucket of Phoenix Guard. I win pretty handily, but they're steadfast since they still have a rank. In his turn, his white lines just turn around as archers march up. It's another big magic phase. It's 9 dice to 8. He starts with a medium range fireball on my crossbow women, and I hate it, but I let it go, and 4 of them drop. He follows with his Shem's Burning Gaze, which I don't want to let go either, but I'm really worried about that Arcane Unforging. I don't want to lose either of my Dispel items from my Sorceress, but more importantly, I do not want those last Phoenix Guard to get that 3+ ward save. I also don't want that Lore Master casting Wild Form on the Phoenix Guard. Bowman fall. Bolt Thrower takes aim, drops both Dark Riders. And the other one targets the crossbow women, drops 3 more. The handlers finish off that mage, so the Hydra is able to focus all of its attacks on the Phoenix Guard, takes him out. So the Knight and the Hydra reform like thus. I figure I'm going to go after the Lions, and the Knight, he's going to try for the Bolt Thrower. And actually, both make it in. The Harpies go up to try and redirect the archers. I'm not sure why I did it, but I did. Magic is 6 dice to 3, and I don't even bother with Power of Darkness. I just send all 6 at Caress at that his last eagle behind the archers. I get it, dead eagle. The crossbows take aim at the archers, but only manage to peel off 2. The knight finishes her first crossbow, looks over onto the second, but falls only an inch short. And that... she's toast. Their attacks between the Lord and the BSB manage 1 wound each, and the Hydra splits it the same. The BSB managed to get away with only 1 wound, but the Lord does fall, and the Stomp takes out a few more White Lions. He's stubborn, sticks, and we go to next round. The archers charge the Harpies that I had put there for no reason at all, other than that. The bolt thrower takes aim at the knight, only gets 2 hits, both wound, but I make both 4-up armor saves. I am really surprised. The handlers finish off the BSB, which lets the Hydra focus on the remaining lines, kills him to a man, and reforms looking at the archers. The archers quickly dispatch the Harpies. The bolt thrower makes in, the Hydra makes an attempt at the archer, but falls short. Now, since that swamp is worth victory points, I move up the crossbowman and also the mage, and somewhat of a questionable move on my part, but everyone passes their initiative test and it's fine. I try and shoot the archers, but don't get enough. The bolt thrower lands 1 wound on the knight, but I easily make the 2-up armor save. I only get 1 hit, even with hatred in return, skewers the crewman, and the tiger can't finish the last one off. Final shot of the game. Pretty much everything's at half wounds, only 1 character, very bloody battle. I win by 465 victory points normally, and then you add in the 500 for the swamp, it's almost 1,000. A tie, but those extra victory points from the swamp really swing it. So overall, great game. I'm a little annoyed by the brokenness of Banner of the World Dragon, but I guess I was saved by my own brokenness of just Hydra smashing everything. Hats off to Rick. This is one of the few times the dragon's actually fallen in combat. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.